Holy smokes. What is it? 106, episode 106 of Wayne's World in Kelly. Someone told me that was obnoxious. I'm like, that's kind of the intention. Did y'all not pick up on that? So we had the great Shawn Harper, who many of you guys know that are football fans or just human fans, because this guy's amazing. I met him at a Danny Johnson event. I mention her every once in a while. She's been probably one of the biggest influences, not only on my life, but on millions across the world, including Shawn. So without any further ado, Mr. Shawn Harper.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good to
Shawn,
see you, brother.
welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so
Good to
much
see
for
you
making the
too.
time. I was
So
just watching a
go
couple
ahead.
of your videos on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I'm eating a muffin with peanut butter, and there's tears coming out of my eyes. Don't even know where to start. I mean, wow. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for providing the motivation and the leadership that this country needs right now. You're a remarkable human being with where you came from and the challenges you overcame. I'm just amazed. I don't even know where
You
to
know what?
start.
Honestly, I'm blessed to be a blessing, and I have to be always mindful of that. It's. I'm a vessel that needs to be emptied and needs to be empty, so that God, the divine, our Lord, can pour more in. It's my job.
Thank you for
I
accepting
mean,
the job, and thanks for coming out on the show. So
right.
first thing I noticed, it's been years since I've seen Mr. Harper. That's probably, especially if I'm close to him. I'm 6'1", 200 and like, I don't know, 4 pounds. I look like a little peanut next to this man. I mean, I was saying before the show started, or did I already say, I don't know. But when I first met him, I'm like, holy cow, this guy, what a massive human being. And then when he came on today, I'm like, he's still a big man, huge man, but he is slimmed up and I dare I say very handsome. You were just such a big guy before. I don't know if handsome was something that people could say because you were so daunting, but my golly, you look good.
You know what? Probably not say handsome then. It'll probably like go against the brand a little bit. But right now, just have it away. I'll take it. I will receive it, and we will win with it.
I like that. I like that Danny Johnson language right off the bat too.
Yeah.
That
So
is such a
you know
valuable
what?
thing. We have to talk a little bit about Danny,
Danny was a monster. I mean, she was amazing. It
right?
just there was so much I learned, and and whoever's listening, man, if you did not have a chance to just hear, her message, her methodologies, her teachings, man, you've missed a lot there. She blessed thousands. I'm like, Lord, put me on that level.
Absolutely. And one thing she used to say is, I receive that. And one thing in my life I've always had trouble taking is compliments.
Hmm.
And it just wasn't manly, it's just, hey,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But when somebody says something nice, and now whenever I hear someone go, I receive it, the first thing I go is, have you been to a Danny Johnson event? But because
Yeah.
it's such valuable words because you say it, but you actually live it. You experience it, and you let your body absorb a compliment as opposed to blowing it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. 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 That that that's huge. Uh, uh, One of the ways that you can see where someone is just to just to throw compliments and to see how they either receive or actually reject. And life often is willing to bless you and to promote you and to move you, but sometimes consciously or subconsciously we kind of shut the whole thing down, and we miss a lot because of not feeling worthy.
Well,
Sure.
you talk a lot about manifestation, and that's one of the things I love watching your videos. Again, there's so much ground to cover here in such little time. The manifestations part really resonated with me, but I'm imagining being Shawn Harper and I'm at a motivational seminar and I'm looking out into the audience, and everybody has a story, and behind every strong person, lies a story that gave them no choice.
Right.
You have one message to say in only one thing, and you're looking out. what is that? Because of all the things that you've overcome in your life, what do you want everybody to know if you can only say one thing?
What I just heard you ask me is that if I had only one message to give that encompasses all that I speak on, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's in you.
Love it. Love it.
It's in you. That's it. It is in you.
Well,
You
you
had to
realize how
get
you end
it.
the show, and we're just getting started. But what something that you said before Wayne threw that great question at you was, you said that people have to realize that they're worthy. Can you
Right.
expound on that? Because I love that. That is such a couple words that are so important.
Right. Well, a lot of times, it only takes one or two times where we hear something from someone, typically an adult, that says, you know what, this is who you're not, and so you try to become,
Right.
and in life you can only have what you are. So we are trying to achieve greatness and try to make our big mark. But the mere fact that we're trying, which means that we're starting from lack, we're starting from
Mm-hmm.
less than, and we're trying to become. And it's really tough to become because a part of you believes what you've been. In order to have what you are, you have to have it in you. All actions stem from thoughts. All thoughts come from your belief system. And that's where about 99% of all motivational speakers stop at. But there's one level deeper. It's called your self-concept. Your self-concept is the essence of who you are. A great book, a guy named Maxwell Maltz wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And he talks about your self-concept, the essence of who you are. In order to become, a part of you has to already be. And that is what you pull from. That is what you live from. It's the being and the manifestation of that being. So, so people try to become great things and, to become extraordinary, and they will never have it because you not only move towards your goal is moving towards you because there's a mutual attraction. If not, it's like a donkey chasing a carrot, and you'll chase it for the rest of your life.
That's incredible, man. That's ripped right out of the pages of the law of attraction, which I make it a foundation, for what I do. You're using the stuff that you overcame as a child really resonated with me, and that's when the tears started flowing. As far as when you were told at a very young age you had some educational deficiencies that you had to overcome. Can't even imagine what that feels like. Confusion. Adult figures are telling me I'm this, I'm that. Did you fully understand what the hell that they were telling you? Because that can be very harmful to anybody at any age. But here you are looking at this. How do you take that on at such a young age?
You don't. My mom, oh, she was amazing. She really did not allow the full explanation to arrest my consciousness. She's like, okay, okay. In fact, I remember, they're testing me, and they sat there, and for like 2 or 3 days of just testing and testing, and finally they're like, your son has 4 to 5 documented learning disabilities and things like this and blah blah blah. And we're going to prescribe this. And the social workers like, we have this intervention, and this person spoke up, and my mom took her left hand and she hit that table so hard. And she said, "You will not label my boy." And the good thing is that she kept me out of the special classes, and she made the tutors come to me, right? So she kept me in the general aspect of it all. The challenge, though, with that is there was a time where, I knew I was different. I knew that I had to struggle, and that I had to make it to that next level when everyone else is flying through stuff. I'm struggling. They was reading on this level, I'm reading at this level, and it did, honestly, it did have an impact and an inflection on my belief system, of basically who I am and who I was at the time. And up until there was a midpoint where I realized that I'm not disabled, I'm uniquely enabled. Is that everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Like Superman has kryptonite, but you don't hear Superman crying about kryptonite all day. He's like, you know what? Make it happen. Staff your weaknesses, couple with people who understand your weaknesses, and let's win. Let's keep winning. So I had to make that switch. But you know what? The educational system is not for you because it wasn't designed for you, because it's not, most of the times education teaches you to conform to the world, and your
Yep.
call is to change the world.
Yeah.
It all goes back to sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. When I was a kid, I'm the youngest of 9, and my mom says to me, Kelly, you're extraordinary. And my brother pulls me aside and he says, Kelly, let's explain that word to you. Mom just said you were extraordinary.
Yeah.
Now, I chose to listen to mom, not my brother. But I think it was part of my drive was, what do you mean I'm extraordinary? Heck with you. I'm a guy with a girl's name and an offensive last name. I'm somebody, damn it. And but let's switch gears a little bit and talk about, well, first of all, I do want to say this. I was thinking about it this morning before you came on. I'm like, I want to see Shawn Harper's mom holding you as a baby. Because you're such a big guy. And I just had that thought in my head. I just thought that was priceless.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. You have a picture? Look at this. This is not playing. This is his mom. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I keep
Beautiful.
that picture right there. Oh, she's adorable. Yeah, she passed away about 3-4 years ago. But absolutely wonderful. My number one fan. And you know,
Mom and dad, you keep them in your heart.
People underestimate the power of fan. People underestimate. Think about that for a second. We are football players. I mean, strong football players. But guess what? On the sideline, there's a cheerleader to keep the fans and that positive energy in your life. Athletes, we might have groupies. Like, why would we have groupies? Why would an athlete who's 7 figures, sometimes 8, these guys are wealthy to, everyone, but he always or she always keeps a small group of people around them, speaking life into them. Death and life is in the power of the tongue, and you should eat the fruit thereof. CEOs, high-level CEOs, they'll always have 1 or 2 schmoozers. Think about that. You don't usually see the schmoozers get laid off first, right? Because why? The CEO, he or she needs that. We need, and this woman right here was my cheerleader. And I'm saying all that to say this: parents, man, your kids, please. I mean, the common denominator between you and I is that we had moms speaking life into us. Speak life. Even if your kid is like, well, I don't believe it. Always speak that life, because in the deep, dark moments, they have to be able to pull from something, to pull themselves out of situations and get to the next level. And when they don't have anything to pull on, you see a lot of self-hurt, drugs, suicide, depression, things like that.
Yeah, like when you wanted to, you didn't want to go on in football, okay?
No.
And you called your mom, and your mom said, "No way." That's one of the takeaways I had again when I was watching your videos.
Yes. I said, Mom, I quit. It's so easy to quit in life. I quit. I'm done. And she was there, my cheerleader. That's the only reason why I'm here today. The only reason why you're talking to me today is because through that, and then I met up with people, and I met with Danny, and I met you, and the rest is history. The only reason is because I had a cheerleader in my life.
Right. And unfortunately, failing's accepted in this country. And it's almost like people go, oh, good. Now Shawn's just one of us. He's not this great guy. But he is that great guy. But and there's so many of us that pull from you becoming that person that you became. But there's so many others that are accepting of you not being that. And I'll never understand that.
What do you mean by that? Explain that a little more, Kelly. I don't understand your question.
People want you to fail because it gives them an excuse to fail.
Oh yeah.
I want to see the Shawn Harpers and the Kelly Coons and the Wayne Searsons be successful in life. The same way, if I'm playing golf, I want to play with 3 guys that are better than me, which isn't too hard to find. But if I'm playing with people that are my speed or less, I don't grow.
Yeah.
I think
Let me, or allow me to give a caveat. And the caveat is I think that when you quit it at life, what I, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. What I mean by quit it life is the greatest teacher is failure. It,
For
it, it,
sure.
it is absolutely
you
awesome.
must watch our show.
And yeah, it's life gives the test and it teaches the lesson. And it's like, man, you keep falling, and that's how you learn. You learn by falling off the bike and getting back on it to learn how to ride it, right? But it's something about the eyes. And when people see that quit, yeah, if they're small-minded, if they're, narcissist and manipulative, part of them gets a little joy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you quit, you gave up.
Have you ever met or worked with anybody that you have found beyond redemption? Like, I can't do anything for him or her for whatever particular reason it is that you've uncovered in some kind of, exploratory phone call or face-to-face meeting.
Oh yeah. I am actually dealing with someone like that right now in my life. You know what the crazy thing is? Because I get up early in the morning, like early, like at like 3, 4 in the morning, and I just pray, you know. And this morning, God was like, this person's never going to fully accept you. This person's never going to fully trust you or love you. But I've called you to bless them anyway. I've called you to love them anyway. That's one of the most powerful forms of love, knowing that you'll never be loved back, knowing that it'll never be reciprocated, knowing that you are planting seeds that you'll never eat of its fruit. I've called you to be the blessing anyway. Whew, that's tough.
That's powerful.
I wish I had
Wow.
that in me because I don't think I have that most of the
No,
time. I go,
I don't have it in
man,
me either.
but you,
I don't have it in me.
yeah, well, the
But
Holy Spirit's
God,
in you. So,
yeah, but God has it, and I'm
right.
getting it from Him.
Yeah, I, I had a dilemma this weekend with a friend who's struggling with some things, and she started saying some stuff, and I'm like, you just got to move on. I can't help you. You're at a dark place, and and
Yeah,
part of it was to shake her up to say, better figure out what you got going on because there's people that are dependent on you, and you've got a lot of blessings in your life, but I
yeah.
don't like watching people give up and be so negative. It just it's because I don't want to feed into it for a second.
hmm No, I'm not saying that everyone is your assignment. I'm saying that when you have a particular calling where God says, I have this person in your life to be the blessing to, then you know what? It's more, um, you can learn so much from that. There's so much humility and so much patience that's developed. It's like sandpaper to your soul, and your soul is wood, and it just grinds you down. But the more it grinds you down, the more heartaches you feel. The loss of expectations, the smoother you become.
Right.
Shawn, what's your opinion on this kind of moniker, this phrase, this saying that's been out for probably a decade now, imposter syndrome. So, you're manifesting, you're saying the NFL, you're having all these things that are coming up in your vision and where you want to be. This guy shouldn't be here. Who is this guy? He's on the depth chart. I'm supposed to be starting, but yet he's in front of me. And all of a sudden, you're in the game, you're at training camp, you get drafted, all these things are happening to you. Did you ever look around and have any of this imposter syndrome, which I'm not really sure I believe so much in, but like, holy shit, man, here I am. How'd you
Of
feel
course.
when you were there?
Yeah, of course. Even worse than that, it's like, there can be a level of guilt, like I shouldn't
Right.
be.
Exactly.
Like when I was growing up, you know, there were guys that were better than me. You know, we are going to play football in, you know, at over at this apartment complex, you know, and I rarely share the story. And it was, and let's see, one, two, three, four, maybe five of us in there. Well, out of the five that were back there playing, only two of us made it to the NFL. No, three of us made it to the NFL, but there were two more that were amazing. These boys were bang. I mean, listen, this one kid we called Dorsett after Tony Dorsett because he
Yep.
had moves. I mean, he could juke you. Oh my gosh. It's like, and you realize, you know, growing up, also, I played with my friends. His name was Troy. You know, he was an NBA basketball player. I know he was. He went to, I mean, he was amazing, but along the way, people fall off and fall off. And if you're not careful, man, I tell you, that guilt will haunt you. It will haunt you coming out of poverty into prosperity. If you're not careful, that guilt will haunt you until you realize, and this is so important, until you realize you were chosen. It wasn't just your athletic ability. You were chosen. I'm chosen for this season. Many a nights I could have been hemmed up, hurt, injured, killed, shot. I was chosen. I was chosen to be the blessing. Puts it all in perspective.
A nicer mindset. You know, golfers have to do that. But so let me ask you this. How was the transitioning from the spotlight playing football and getting where your goal was for so long to then walking away from it or limping away as a football player, most likely? How was that to who you are today? How was that adjustment?
There is no adjustment. And I think that that is a great disservice that we give to professional athletes. Well, okay, football's over now. You know, you have to conform to the new world, and you know this is the new reality. But I'm telling you something right now. It, Professional athlete, a collegiate athlete, a high level high school athlete, to harness the power, the strength, the fortitude that it takes to play professional sports and then learn how to apply it to corporate America in life, you are a monster. You're unstoppable. Think about that for a second. You have at the high school collegiate level, you know, these guys are at practice at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning every day. And then they have to still get good grades. I mean, and when we are on the football field, tell you what, man, we in the corporate world, you use your mind. In the sports world, you use your mind, your body, your soul, your ears, everything is working in unison. That is a level, that's such a high level. And so I was able to say, you know what? No, man. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to bring that into life. I'm going to bring that into the sports world right now. This is so funny. Right now, you see the suit jacket on, nice shirt, but you don't see these sweatpants. I got on sweatpants. When I finish, I'm taking off this jacket. I got my sweatshirt over there. I'm doing push-ups. I'm walking because it's all the same.
I'm not even wearing pants.
It's,
Dude,
it's like
man.
you have to incorporate every aspect of your life for the maximum power. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
But the
You know,
cheering
Kelly
stops.
yeah, no, Kelly has got a great point. Like when the cheering stops, okay. I mean, I believe that you are an anomaly. I would like to think that most of the country, even though you know the folks, the leadership, everything are people like you, but they're just not. I mean, 30 for 30 on ESPN has got a great show called Broke. You know, it's about how pro athletes get all the money. And then, like when Kelly was saying, what's it like, you know, when you transition? How was that? The fact of the matter is, Shawn, you are an anomaly. You've harnessed that power. You figure out a way to do it, I think, at a very early age. you took that energy when were done with football and took it to corporate America and have built an empire. Most people can't do that. I don't believe they can. I think it's within them, but they don't.
Well, they can't because Western culture teaches compartmentalization. Eastern culture teaches it doesn't have to be this or that. It could be this and that.
True,
Western
true.
culture teaches this or that. So it's overt. It's it's it, it's not that I am a anomaly. I became a anomaly because I said
Yep.
the game is not over.
Yes, sir.
I just I just turned because it was very hard to make that transition. It's and honestly, most athletes don't make that transition. They
Right.
become coaches. They stay close to the game
Yep.
because that's what they know. I mean, they've been playing
Yep.
football since the second grade. I'm playing football since the second grade.
Right.
Okay. No, I just made a switch to say life is now my playing field. I need a coach, I need mentors, I need teammates, I need a competitor. Have to be, and now life is my training. This is how I train. When I'm doing a podcast, you're not going to see me in some, most of the time, I'm not going to be in some sweatshirt. It's not appropriate. This is my uniform. When
Right.
I'm take this uniform off, I'm gonna throw on another uniform. And then I'm gonna go walk outside and lift and run.
Right.
The game is not over, and if you don't know it's a game, you're gonna get played by the game.
Man, that's
Oh.
so true.
I want to see the transcript of everything you said. I mean, I love that. No wonder I bonded with the guy so quick.
I want to see the transcript. Just talk again.
Oh my God.
By the way,
We're out
guys.
of time, but I want to go a few more minutes just because there's,
Okay.
you know,
I can't even see you right now. That's why you see me moving around because I'm like, I can't even see you. But anyway, I'm just looking at the screen, so I hope I didn't mess up, guys. I'm sorry.
You're
no, you've been
fine. You
lovely.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wayne's messing up the screen. I mean, if you can see
It's
him,
okay.
you know, but he's a great guy, but not much to look at.
Oh, man.
Okay, so we still have the locker room banter, but so what's the next chapter?
How can I get out of my way? How can I get out of my way? And it's like, how do I increase the potency and the power that God has given me? How do I give more? How do I serve more? I want more. The greatest competitor in the game of life is yourself.
Yep.
And I need to attack myself and get the best out of me, to speak more, to travel more, to bless more, to die to myself and my own agenda more so that God can live through me.
I mean,
powerful.
yeah. I don't. I think one other quick follow-up question I have too is the message that you articulate into corporate America, into America right now. Would you think that there's a leadership crisis out there? I know you talk a lot about leadership in your videos.
Yes. Huge,
Okay.
a huge leadership crisis because leaders don't know what a lot of leaders don't know what a leader is. Leaders don't know what leaders are. Leaders think that I am the person that, is to make everyone happy. My
Okay.
job is to satisfy, you know, people to have a great and healthy work environment. And no, a leader's job is result. Your job is to create results. Now, yes, there's some things you need to learn to keep the environment cohesive, but the forefront is your job is results. You're placed at the top to create results. Now, I've got a perfect example of this, and I love and whew, okay, I'll just say this. There was a particular international chain, okay? And everyone loved working there. They loved working there. They loved working for this guy, and they had the best wages, and it was like awesome. It's good, you know. And they had to file for bankruptcy, and another company purchased them, and they slashed the salaries. They made a lot of changes, and now it is productive. And so you have to make a choice. Do I dance for the people or do I lead the people?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm hearing a little bit is maybe some old school focus on, a company's mission is to get a return back to the shareholders if they're a publicly traded company or the investors that are on the inside or whatever. Definitely not having that focus definitely hurts a lot of companies when things are kind of all over the map and the mission is undefined.
Yep. Yep. Even as I said what I just said, you saw me, I was looking down, I was reminded, well, there's something that I'm gonna have to do now. Because yeah, it's like I was just held in judgment by my own words. And there's some moves I have to make.
Right. Yeah.
Just now.
I was
Just
thinking
now,
the exact same thing.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God.
So
Okay.
I think a big problem is there's a lot of people in leadership roles that aren't leaders.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And if they don't
Yeah.
figure it out, we talked about alpha males. Obviously, there's 3 alpha males here right now. If you have a wannabe alpha male in a role that's in a leadership position, they usually can't pull it off because they're so lost in their own mess that they don't know how to lead.
Yeah.
And true alpha females and alpha males know how to lead.
There's oh man, it's I believe that alpha can be a great leader, beta can be a great leader, a Charlie can be a Pearl as something we had learned, somebody who's like a really, nice and they all can be amazing leaders. One of the characteristics of a leader is a good listener and how to encourage and push people to the next level. We talked about Danny earlier, but it's so amazing. It's that Danny was not a Ruby. She was not a leader. She was not an alpha in that. There's no alpha in Danny. I know. Trust me, I know. Danny had an amazing skill set that she was able to bring the best out of every temperament, every personality, and then have them all work together. Half her staff was all alphas. And it's just this lady comes on. It's like, how does she do that? She learned, and this is gonna sound familiar, learn more about people than you do yourself, and you'll be unusually successful.
Right. Yeah, I love that you used the term Ruby. So,
Yeah.
and I've done the classes down in South Florida, and the people were eating it up. And it's such, I took so much out of all of her training that I went to. And then I was blessed with meeting so many amazing people like yourself. But I love gyms. I think gyms is so powerful because you're right.
Yeah.
But when I say an alpha, so you gotta, if you're not an emerald, don't be an emerald, but know how to communicate with an emerald, know how to be the best emerald you are.
Yes.
If you're not a ruby, and it's, I could spin the whole thing around. It's half the people going, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. And if you don't, reach out to one of us, and we're happy to share that information with you. But be the best that you can be, but also honor everybody around you, and things will go well. Dishonor people, and it shouldn't go well for you.
Yeah, it's at certain points of leadership, you need all 4 temperaments or all 4 personalities, and you need to be able to motivate every single one of them to work cohesively to achieve a definitive goal.
I find myself talking to a Pearl, and I forget the train. I'm like, oh my God, I just rubied all over a Pearl. Dial it back and readdress it, And,
Yes.
and because they're pearls, they can take it. And then we can get some great results. But I fall back on that daily for years now. And it's so powerful. So
definitely. As we wrap this up, Shawn, the takeaway that I had from you, actually two of them this morning, prior to our interview that we have right now, is, the story of certainly of your life, but watching your delivery when you speak, when you're doing your talks, utterly amazing, heartfelt, true, authentic. You coming out, it just, like I said, dude, I was crying, man, and thank you. Very powerful message you have.
Awesome. Thank you.
there's one more takeaway, and usually Wayne says it. We haven't even peeled back the first part of the onion. We're going to have to, next quarter, we're going to have to bring you back on because there's so much that you have to share. And I love it. I feel like at the end, you and I started speaking a different language. There's so many people that understand what we were talking about with the gems.
Yeah.
I feel a little guilty, but I still enjoyed it because we knew what we were talking about.
Awesome.
And if you don't,
have a good day.
Hey guys, you be blessed.
Thanks, Shawn. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for being you, brother. We'll talk soon. Everybody have a great day.
Right.